camera, what y'all didn't see me do was cut the cherry down to a 3-inch width. And everybody's seen boards run through a table saw, so there wasn't any particular beauty thing about that. So now what I've got to do, this is the base, and the inside dimension of it has got to finish at 23 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end right here, and I'm going to cut the 22-degree bevel across here by lining that board up right there and making that cut. And then once that, wherever that blade comes out on this inside of the board, I will measure a 23 length right there, scribe me a line, and then I'll just work my way up until I get to that line, and then I know I'll have my length. I'd rather do it that way than try to say, hey, I just cut this much off and be okay, and then be too short. So I learned a long time ago, it's easier to take off what I got than to put on what I don't have. So here we go. We're gonna make this first cut right here. This is 22.5 degrees, and this again is the base. Get it lined back up, make sure it's all nice and flat. That's the tricky part, making sure we can keep it all nice and flat and perpendicular. So pardon me if you're getting in the way. Okay, right there where it came out, from that point, I've got to come down 23 inches. So I'm going to make that measurement. And because you can't hook the tape measure over that little taper right there, we'll hold it at 10, with 10 representing 0. And we'll come out here and we'll measure, right back over there, we'll measure 23 inches. But we'll actually mark that at 33 inches. So just make sure it didn't move. We're good. So mark it at 33 right there. Okay. And then I'll draw me a line across there. And I'll know that's where I want to end up at and work it into it. So now, like I said, I'll just continue making these 22-degree cuts until I come out right there. Actually, it's about a not quite 2.5 inch, right at 2.5 inches. And this is showing just like 3 5/8, so I could probably trim just a little bit off. But like I said, I'd rather just make multiple passes and sneak up into that mark than take off too much and have to start all over. So here we go. Okay. We're going to run it back up in there a little bit more. Run it back up in there a little bit more. Kind of get an idea of where we're coming down at. We're getting close. Okay, so we're about probably about 5/16 of an inch shy. So we're gonna see if we can get, I'm gonna put a mark up here at the top, and this will give me a much better idea of where I need that blade to run. So somewhere right in that area. Now we can sneak up into it and see where we're at. Okay. Just a little bit right there. And I believe right there is going to do it. We want 23, so we want to see 33 when we measure this. And that's what we got. All right, so the base is cut. So move it off to the side. Now, each one of the, pardon me for crossing in front, each one of the side angles gets a 22.5 degree cut. Just one side. Then the other side is going to be a 45 degree cut. So we're going to cut the long cuts first, the 22.5s, and then we'll come back and we'll do the 45s. So we'll do this one right here. Okay. Do a little trim on that one. And we're going to do the same thing on this one right here. All right. Okay. All right, so now the next cuts on these boards are going to be at 45 degrees. That'll be on these ends, and we'll cut them in this angle right here, same angle as this. But now these have to be in that smaller, shorter length that we talked about. And I got to go get my board, my paper. I don't remember what it cut, so I'll be right back. We're going to do the same thing using 10 as a 0, and we're going to come out to 26.25 and put us a mark right there. Okay, and we'll put our scribe mark across it. Okay, now on this one, let me get my square figured up. I know I'm going to cut that at a 45, so I'm going to cut it. We'll move this around to 0. I'm going to cut it right there. So I've got quite a bit of material I can cut off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put me another mark right here. And then I'm going to step over to my table saw right quick, and I'm going to cut that little piece off. Be right back. Okay, I got the rough piece cut off right there. So that's going to let me get a whole lot closer and see where I need to cut my 90. And I don't know if you can see that, but I'm probably about 3/8 of an inch shy of having it exactly where I want it. So we'll just sneak into it from there. Whoop. That's what happens when you don't let the saw stop. My bad. Don't do what I do. All right. Got a little bit long. Let's cut it right there. Here we go. That's how you're supposed to do it. So let's measure, see how close we are. We wanted 16.25, and I got 16.25 on the money. So, all right, so I'm going to do the other one off camera, and then when I come back, we'll do a dry fit and see how everything's working out. So, be right back. Okay, as you can see, it's going to look like it's going to lay in pretty good and tight. I'm laying on top of my table saw, so it's not There we go, got it on the same surface. I've got a little bit of sanding to do on this side to get me a good flush fit, and a little bit over here on this side, on the top point. This corner looks real good. So what it is now, this is just a matter of hand sanding, just lightly touching and bringing things into play. And I think we're going to be just exactly what we wanted it to be. So let me get my tape measure right quick. And what we're looking for is 11.5 inches. Again, we'll go from the 10. So we're looking for 21.5, which we're about 20, we're about 11 and maybe 1/16 inch over. And here we want 23, so we're going to go from the inside out. So we are right at it. So we're in pretty good shape. I believe this is going to work just great. So what I've got now to do is, like I said, just do some sanding and practice, or not practice, but finesse the fit. And then once I get that all done, then I'll do all of my sanding, and I'll cut the grooves for the back and everything, so to make sure that it all fits real good. But like I said, I'll do all the sanding on the inside portions of the board, because once it's put together I can't do that. So I'll do all the sanding right quick after I get all this done, and then we'll do another dry fit before we go any further with anything else. So I believe this is going to be a wrap for video number 2. I'm going to do the finesse sanding off camera by hand, and do another dry fit, make it look good, and then I'll come back and I'll show you exactly what we're looking at. And so all in all, I'm really pleased with the way this one is turning out. Using the pine instead of the cherry to start out with was a money-saving game for me, so I'm glad I did that. So I'd like to take a moment and ask everyone, if you would, hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and while you're there, you might as well go ahead and hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I post another video. And lastly, if you would, please share my channel and my videos with your family and friends. I greatly appreciate it. So this is a wrap for Buckethead number 2. We'll see you in Buckethead number 3 real soon. Thanks.